This is part 2 of chapter 20 to 21. And now, what happens is that Zan, who is the protector of Firion, well, she was a little girl though when Firion was, when Firion remembers a little girl, but that can't be possible because actually, Zan wasn't a little girl. She was actually, it wasn't that much of a long time ago. So why do you think that Firion is like really confused? Like, has this ever happened to you? Not really. The once, I thought, didn't this happen last week? And then I was like, no, it happened 2 weeks ago. Sometimes my memory's a little spotty like that, but mostly I don't mistake events by years, so I think that some magic is going on. Why do you think that this, what do you think is going on? And there's a sentence that says, time was a tricky thing, as slippery as mud. Do you think that time is tricky, that is slippery, or not? Well, think about it like this. What is time? Yeah, time is like, clocks, stuff, but still, like, if you actually think about the fundamental principles of time, what is time? Like, actually think about it. And there, oh yeah, mentioning that, there's, TED Ed, right? Oh yeah, you probably don't. But for the people who do, TED Ed, well, just search up TED Ed on YouTube, on Google. You're gonna see either like a really awesome website or a really awesome YouTube channel. And basically, and they have like, I don't know, 18 million subscribers or something. So they basically make fun, free educational videos, or they have, and they even have a headquarters, and they have like TED Ed speeches where amazing people come up and speak about topics, and it's really awesome. But anyway, there's a video that actually talks about what is time. So you can actually search that out. But do you think that time is a tricky thing? Well, when I was a little kid, I did. When I was learning how to read the time. But really, I don't think that time, if you look at it in one way, it isn't. But at the same time, time can be tricky. All those memories and events on the timelines, it's just hard to understand, which is, I think that's why we make minutes and hours and seconds and days and weeks and months and years and centuries and decades and all that, because we want to categorize things. But time doesn't always go as categorized. Things might have happened or might have not happened. There could be consequences, but there might not be consequences. It's all by the seconds. And also, some people have even time traveled. Not kidding. Also another TED Ed video. And besides, I mean, yeah, one astronaut orbiting the Earth actually time traveled 0.02 seconds ahead or something like that. I'm not very sure, but something like that. And he time traveled. I'm pretty sure it wasn't much of a big deal though. So anyway, I wanted to really talk about Zan, right? She was still like a little girl, right? And can you imagine Zan as a little girl? I mean, she has to have been a little girl, but I have a hard time imagining her as a little girl. And why do you think that Firion? Do you think that this actually happened, or do you think that this is just a product of Firion's imagination? Also, they're at the tower, the central tower, right? There was 2 booths, right? What do you think that these booths were? Because these booths, whenever you see booths, what do you think? Like, do you think, oh my, this is the best discovery in my life? Or do you think, meh, who cares? I'm going back to my computers. I'm going back to my book or whatever you're doing. But these are like really special booths, right? The magicians long ago have been studying books just like boots just like these. They have placed their boots on the table and were examining them with tools and special glasses and powders and cloths and other tools. Every day they experimented and observed and took notes. Every day, 7-league boots they were called, and neither Phryne nor Zan was allowed to touch them. Unquote. Have you ever heard of 7-league boots? I think that like you wear them, 1 step, you go 7 leagues. I'm not very sure, but I think they also appeared in Howl's Moving Castle. You can check that book out. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty popular book, so you can check it out at libraries or buy it on Amazon. But it's a pretty good book. This is a very good book, so I think that you should check it out and also watch the film after that. The film is pretty good too. And it was made by Hayao Miyazaki, a Japanese filmmaker. You've probably heard of him. He's made like awesome movies, but okay, today is not like a movie. Today I'm not going to talk about movies. Back to the book. And how do you think that you could stand to examine boots, even if they were magical boots? Do you think you could examine them? Like, do you think you would have the patience to examine them? I think so, mostly because, well, I think it's possible. I always want to be a spy. Spying is really cool in a few ways because, like, a spying, that means that you have to, like, identify strange stuff, and I've always liked identifying stuff, so it might be fun. Though, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll soon lose patience and it'll really not be fun in the end. And then something growled in the wood, right? What do you think was growling at Phryne? I think that was just maybe the wind, or maybe like a tree was groaning. But I don't think so. Maybe there's something else. Do you think it could be a tiger, or maybe it's a person? But if so, why would a person be growling at Phryne? Like, why? So another question I have is, there's like this magic rope that sort of binds Zan to Phryne, right? So basically, there's like a magical rope. Auntie Zan. If Phryne says that once, Auntie Zan 3 times, that means that he'll be immediately pulled back to Zan. Pretty awesome trick in my opinion. But do you think that's gonna work now? I thought so, but unfortunately, I guess this is like a magic dead zone or something because nothing happened. And yeah, I hate magical dead zones. Well, I don't actually hate magical dead zones because I don't use any magic, but I do hate Wi-Fi dead zones. They're just the worst. And now, the beast, right? Well, he was hunching, and now we really know that there's like a beast. I was now guessing, like, I was betting my money on a tiger, and then Luna, Phryne said and cried out, and somehow he felt a pull. Why do you think that's now Luna and not Auntie Zan? Why do you think that's the new word now? Maybe it's because Zan is too weak, but Phryne has always had a connection with Luna, at least for a lot of years, over a decade now, so he probably has a close connection. Or maybe it's because he trusts, maybe it's like, okay, this is probably the worst theory ever. I mean, it's a far-fetched theory, but maybe So you know like how in royalty, there's like the heir to the throne is always the king or queen's kids, right? Or if those kids are gone, then the grandkids, but whatever, the closest relatives. But what if it's like that? What if Zan is either dead or really, really, really sick? So now it's like Luna, who's practically part of Zan's family, like, I mean, she is, right? Luna becomes the next, like, not heir to the throne, but like the next person that Firion gets pulled to. Yeah, really, really crazy. I'm pretty sure that is not the case. But then again, then again, that's the awesome thing about books. The author or the characters can't just come out of the pages and say, "Wow, that was just the worst theory ever." And yeah, you can just think whatever you want. Now, Firion suddenly wakes up, right? And then Luna, she says she doesn't have a burn mark either. And Firion was just dreaming, but didn't Firion go away? So what do you think was happening there? Like, what happened so that Luna thought that that Firion was gone, and Firion was in this like crazy dream and all, and he wasn't even gone, and there wasn't even a burn. Like, do you think that's even possible? Like, you go to sleep in a dream? Because, you know, Luna went to sleep after cooling the burn a little. So you go to sleep in a dream. I've never had that before. This is definitely magic. Definitely magic. And I think that this is a really important part of the book. In a time when two things are overlapping. Two different things are overlapping, and they're supposed to have happened at the same time, or at least, yeah, at the same time, and they contradict each other, but one of them has to be true. So the question is, which one? And now she found a large pair of boots. What were those boots? The 7 League boots, right? But why were they there? Do you think that Firion, when he was like saying Luna, 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 do you think that Luna, 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 do you think that he was still holding those boots while that was happening? That would have made total sense, because if that happened, then Firion somehow transported them there. But how? I mean, why are they on the ground and not in Firion's hands? Well, this is very strange. And now the left heel said, they had words on them, and it says, the left heel said, "Do not wear us," and the right said, "Unless you mean it." What do you think that this means? And do you think that the boots can actually talk? I don't think so, but still, this is crazy enough. And now we're going to find out what happens next, right? Now Luna, she said that she thought so look, I'm gonna read this paragraph. Luna was thirsty and hungry, and she was worried about her grandmother, and she wanted to see Glurk. And there were chores to be done. The goats needed milking, the eggs needed gathering. There was something else. She paused on her way to the berry patch. She was going to ask about something. Now what was it? For the life of her, Luna couldn't remember. Unquote. What was that thing? Probably those boots, right? Where they had come from. And what they meant. Oh man, oh man. This is a serious cliffhanger. I hope that you enjoyed The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, Newbery Medal winning book. Always awesome. The book is always going to be awesome if it's a Newbery winning book. At least for the books I've read. I mean, like, not all Newbery winners are awesome. Take it from me, who is a very experienced Newbery Medal winning book reader. But I do know that most Newbery Medal winning books are really good. So, we got a lot of information. Well, not a lot of information, but a lot of story in this. There was a lot of story was crammed into it, and there are all those crazy dream stuff, and And also there was in which Luna tells a story, which I think was really a good part because we actually sort of see a lot of the troubles, like all the troubles and all that were of Luna were laid out in 2 pages, and I think that sort of cleared up everything, like complicated, set things up, and that also made us wonder, how do you think that Luna's gonna react to all of this? Would you like to live in her life? No, just read chapter 20 and you don't like it, right? It's definitely not happy. And it's not happy, right? So what I mean here is that it sort of makes us think, under all of this sort of like bad stuff, how is Luna going to react? That's another question. Anyway, we have finished, so I'm just gonna ask you the last few questions. Like, what's your favorite part in this chapter? In these 2 chapters. What's your favorite part in the whole book so far? What's your least favorite character? Your favorite character? And finally, I'm gonna ask predictions. Actually, not. Well, that's because I'm gonna ask you a few other questions. This is going to be the questions about the dreams, and I have 3 dream-related questions. And 1, what do you think was the reality here? Was it what Luna thought that Firion was gone, right? And he had left to burn. And do you think that was true, or do you think that the other version that they were both having dreams was true? 2, how does it, when you wake up from a nightmare, you don't think that's like real, right? You feel safe when you're in your bed. But do you think that, are you still trembling? I just wanted to ask you that because I was curious about what you would think. What I mean is that, Firion and Luna, it just feels so real to them, right? And they don't know what to decide. But for you, when you wake up, are you still trembling from the nightmare? Like it feels so real. Have you ever been in that situation? And number 3, are the majority of your dreams bad or good? Unfortunately for me, they're all bad. At least I don't have a lot of dreams, and at least the bright part of the day matters. You wake up, you do a lot of stuff. The only question is, what can you do when you're sleeping? Because a lot of stuff happened in the dreams and in that crazy dream or reality. So what can you do when you're awake? Well, we're gonna have to see.